Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 2020 Math Methods External Exam Paper 1, Question 12, short response. So as you know, with all the videos, I've started splitting all the questions up into their own individual videos. That way, if you only struggle with a certain type of question, you can go watch it on the channel. The full exam video is still up on YouTube, so the link is in the description for that as well as the playlist. If you need a Math Methods External Exam Bundle Pack, link is in the description below. There is a special discount code only on this video here that gives it 50% off, and it'll only apply to a couple users. So if you want to go test it out, go test it quick if you're one of the first people seeing this video and you are interested in that. But otherwise, let's get straight into this video here. So question 12. An object is moving in a straight line from a fixed point, okay? The object is at the origin initially, and the acceleration a in meters per second squared of the object is given by this. And as we can see, it's a function of time, and it's measured with a cosine curve, okay? Where t is bigger than 0 and t is time in seconds, okay? The velocity at t equals 1 is 0.5 meters per second. Determine the initial acceleration. So in motion questions, the biggest giveaways they will always give you is the word initially. Initial in terms of time means at the start, which definition would mean t equals 0, okay? So if someone said at the start, and they're talking about time, they're talking about t equals 0. So here when they said the object is at the origin initially, the word origin in math means position is 0. So we know the origin means x equals 0 in this case here for position, and t equals 0 here. Now here they've also said the velocity at t equals 1 is 0.5, okay? Now we don't need any of this information to answer the first question, because here they've just said determine the initial acceleration. aka they want the acceleration when time equals 0. So here we've got acceleration is a function of time. So acceleration is pi times cos pi t. So all you've got to do is just chuck in t equals 0. So a of 0, wherever you see that t, you're going to replace it with a 0. So here you're going to have pi times by 0. So here you've got pi times by cos of 0. Now, cos of 0, if we remember the cos curve, when you're at 0, the cos value would be 1. So cos of 0 is 1, not 0. So here, the acceleration initially, or when t equals 0, is pi meters per second squared. Okay? So the correct answer here is just pi. However, I would probably show this working just in case. Okay? Alright, let's move this guy out the way, because we're going to probably need a bit more room for the other questions. Okay? So, when we're looking at B now, when they've said determine the initial velocity, we need to go from acceleration to velocity. Now, motion is very important in methods. So we have 3 states of motion. We have position, velocity, acceleration that we only learn about, okay? To go from position to velocity, you need to differentiate with respect to time. To go from velocity to acceleration, you need to differentiate with respect to time. Because velocity, by definition, is the change of position with respect to time. Acceleration, by definition, is the change of velocity with respect to time. Therefore, if you want to go from acceleration to velocity, you need to integrate with respect to time, because integration is the opposite of differentiation. Likewise, to go from velocity to position, you have to integrate with respect to time. Okay? That is your key idea with this question here. So when they're saying the initial velocity, first of all, we need to work out our equation for velocity. Now here we've only been given our equation for acceleration. So here we're going to integrate both sides with respect to time. So I'm going to integrate acceleration with respect to time. That means I'm also going to be integrating this guy here with respect to time. Now you don't have to write it how I'm writing it here, but I would definitely write this next bit I'm going to be writing here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll probably just move this. I'll delete this here. We don't need that anymore. And we probably don't need that here. What we will need is this potentially though. If you need that other information, just rewind the video. That'll be easiest. So here, if you integrate acceleration, you'll get velocity as a function of time. And then here, technically you're just evaluating an integral. Now, you will get a plus c. Now, we can get rid of that plus c with this information here. This is an initial condition, okay? So this information tells us a lot about what the function is going to be. So here, what we've got to do is integrate this. Now, when you integrate this, you need to divide by the derivative of the inside function. So here, I'm going to have the pi still, because that's the constant. When I integrate cos, that will turn back into sine. So it's going to be times by sine pi of t. However, you need to divide by the derivative of the inside function. So the derivative of pi t with respect to t is just pi, okay? Then you've got to add that constant of integration to account for when you differentiated velocity, that term went to 0. Now what you'll see here is the pi will cancel out here. Now that pi is affecting the plus c as well. However, because c is a constant, pi times by c is also another constant. So you don't really have to multiply it out to that term as well. Realistically, it's just going here. So velocity as a function of time, cancelling out the pi's, is just sine pi t plus c. Now, here, this isn't good enough for us. We can't work out the initial velocity because we have a plus c in there. What we do know is this. When t equals 1, the velocity is equal to 0.5. Now, I don't like decimals personally, so I'm going to write the 0.5 as a half instead. Okay? So we know when t equals 1, v is equal to a half. That information is crucial to working out your plus c here. Now, I'm going to get rid of this now because I'm going to run out of room otherwise. You then chuck this information into each of these spots here. So that goes there when your time is set equal to 1. So here what you get is v of a half. Oh, sorry, not v of a half. My mistake. That's going to be v of 1. So velocity when t equals 1. So v of 1 equals sine of pi times by 1 plus c. V of 1 is a half. So you have a half equals sine of pi plus c. Now, on the sine curve, you can do this without a calculator. That is when pi is there. So when sine of pi is going to be 0. So that term turns to 0. So a half is your c value, which means your velocity function of time is this guy here, sine of pi t plus a half. Now we can actually answer the question, determine the initial velocity. The initial velocity, remember the word initial means t equals 0. We want to know the velocity at the very start. So all we have to do is just chuck in t equals 0 into here. So here, you get v of 0 equals sine of pi times by 0 plus a half. Pi times by 0 gives you 0. So v of 0 is equal to a half. So that is the initial velocity as well. Okay? So what that has told me here is that is just the initial velocity as well. Now you might be wondering, oh yeah, at the start it's a half and then a second later is also a half. How does that make sense? It's because the velocity is oscillating as well. Okay, so it must be going very fast, this object here. So the initial velocity is just a half meters per second. Okay, now what you would do is you would also check your working as well. So if I were checking this as well, I'd be thinking, oh, have I integrated correctly? Cos definitely goes to sine when you integrate it because you're going backwards from differentiation. And then dividing by the pi term, yep, that works perfectly as well. Yep, everything is all good, okay? However, if you make a mistake moving forward from this, it will affect every other bit of working because it's multi-stage. That's very important to realize as well, okay? Now, another thing you could check if you really wanted to is if you were to differentiate your velocity equation to know if you've done it correctly, you should get your acceleration equation because of our stages of motion. So here, what I'm going to do to prove that I'm all good with this equation here is if I were to differentiate this using the chain rule, I get acceleration. Sine turns into cos. So it's going to be cos of pi t times by the derivative of pi t, which is pi, and then you've got a plus 0 here. So we get our exact equation back again. Okay, that's how I know I have integrated correctly. Okay, now C, we're going to need our velocity equation as well. Now this is where the other initial condition will come into play. Okay, so here they've asked us for the displacement, which is another word for distance, after 1 second. Okay, well, it's not the exact same as distance, but in this case here we can treat it like that. So here we need to work out our position equation. Now we've said to go from velocity to position you have to integrate with respect to time. So we have to integrate this guy with respect to time. Okay, so if we integrate that with respect to time on both sides, what you'll get is position on the left hand side. So you've got x of t, which is position or displacement. Now we've got to evaluate this integral here, okay? So first of all, integrate each term separately, okay? So if I'm integrating sine, sine will turn into negative cos, okay? So negative cos pi t divided by the differential of the inside function, which is pi again. So divide by pi. Then integrating a half, you just attach a t to it. So it's t over 2 plus c. So this is my position equation for this particular situation. And again, to double check that, if you differentiate this, you should receive your initial velocity equation, okay? Alright, so double checking our steps here. If we integrate sine turns into negative cos, divide by pi, yep, and attach a t there. Alright, we're all good so far, okay? So, let's move this guy up here. Let's get rid of that guy now. Okay, now here, this is where this information comes into play. This will allow us to work out our plus c, because I can't work out my displacement after 1 second, because if I chuck in t equals 1, I've got a plus c in the mix. So, I know when x is equal to 0, that is also when t is equal to 0. So if I chuck that information into this, I'll be able to work out what c is. So here, x of 0 equals negative cos of pi times by 0 over pi plus 0 over 2 plus c. Now I know that is 0 there. Now cos of 0 is not 0. Cos of 0 is 1. So this top term here turns into negative 1. So I have 0 equals negative 1 over pi plus 0 plus c. So therefore, if I move the negative 1 over pi to the other side, I get c is equal to 1 over pi. Okay? So that tells me my position equation is this. X of t is negative cos pi t over pi plus t over 2 plus 1 over pi. Now, using that information now, I can now work out, assuming everything I've done here is correct. Now, hopefully I'll go double check before I post this video. If not, if I've made a mistake, leave something in the comments. It has happened before. I think we're all good so far though. Now we're just going to chuck in displacement after 1 second. So we want to know position at 1. So all we have to do is just chuck in t equals 1. Okay? So here, x of 1. So wherever there's a t, you're going to replace that with a 1. Okay? So here you'll get negative cos pi times by 1 over pi plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over pi. Now, pi times by 1 is pi. Now, cos of pi. So, here, that's where pi is. Cos of pi is negative 1. So this term here is negative 1, but it's already getting times by negative 1. So you have a positive 1 on top. So 1 over pi is that first bit, plus a half, plus 1 over pi. Now we can see we have two like terms. 1 over pi plus 1 over pi is 2 over pi plus a half. That is your displacement after 1 second. And that's how you do question 12. If you have any questions about this one here, leave something in the comments. If you want the Math Methods External Exam Bundle Pack, the link is in the description below. The discount code is there. It will only apply to a couple of users. So if you are interested in that, go check it out. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. If you have any questions about this one here, also leave a comment as well.